Ah, crap. Hi, guys.
I'm back.
I know. Lucas, where the hell have you been? For those who remember back from Suburbicon, I think it was the last one you and I reviewed.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, it was like the fucking Matt Damon movie.
No, I wasn't there for that one. No, it was something animated, but around that time.
No, it was the Matt Damon one. I remember. Because it was one of the directed by George Clooney, and it was weird how it was like a segregation element to it.
No, because I haven't seen that.
I'm positive you and I saw that. Don't fucking gaslight me. I know you were there.
You're gonna get home, look it up, it's Muha.
So, no, I wouldn't know if it was Muha. You would have brought it back for Superman at some point. I would have gotten mad. No, seriously, like 3 videos ago, he baited me so hard into a Batman vs Superman argument that I had to separate that video into 2 halves and release that as its own thing.
Fantastic.
The fact the first video ends with, we're not going to talk about it on camera. We talked about it on camera. It's the next video.
Excellent.
So, this is my way of stalling because I really don't want to talk about Hellboy.
Well,
all right.
We're gonna have to.
I know. So you actually like this movie. So
I did.
Before I be a complete asshole and tell you every reason why you're wrong, why did you like it?
All right. So I was introduced to Hellboy back with Guillermo del Toro, Ron Perlman, Doug Jones. This was the version of Hellboy that was my first exposure.
Yeah.
From that, I went and read a bunch of the comics. Got really into it. The comics are much darker. Far more graphic than the Ron Perlman versions. I love them. They're great. This new version of Hellboy is definitely darker, more graphic than the Ron Perlman version. I feel like it's truer to the comics than the previous films. That being said, you're absolutely right. It's got some issues. It's got some problems. But I really enjoyed it.
Okay, fair enough. I will say, in the areas you're specifying in terms of, like, graphic and, dark, yes, this is both of those things. It, however, has none of the other things that make it interesting.
I don't know.
Like, the characters are shallow as fuck. There's nothing to them. It feels like this feels a lot like Venom in that it feels like it should have come out like back in the mid to late 2000s. Back when everything was like Daredevil and Evanescence and shit. This does feel a little relic from that age.
Helped.
So like, I guess if you like that style of superhero movies back when that was popular, maybe this will work for you. Personally, I rewatched those movies recently and they all suck.
I enjoy some of those.
I mean, I'll say I don't enjoy them, but I can't say they're objectively good either.
Oh, sure, no, I'm not going to say these are objectively good.
Like, I still love the shit out of Ghost Rider. That is a god-awful movie. The first and second one.
I think we can all be glad that Nicolas Cage did not play Hellboy.
I don't know. Honestly, it might have got my butt in the seat a lot easier. I'm like, nah, guys, Nicolas Cage has prosthetic horns. I gotta fucking see this. Oh, God almighty. So, yeah, this movie has no characters. The plot is all over the goddamn place.
The pacing suffers. Like
the pacing is so awful. The pacing is so bad.
I hope that at some point they will release an extended edition.
If I see another fucking hashtags release a Snyder cut, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
No, the reason I want an extended version is it felt to me, because I'm terrible. I've seen this movie twice now. Like, it felt to me like they made the whole movie, and the production crew and the director went to the company. They're like, all right, we have made an amazing 3.5-hour movie. And the distribution and production side of things is just like, you are not Peter fucking Jackson. You have 2 hours. And they turned to the editing team and they're like, put it all in. The editor's like, that's not how it works. Put it all in. And so, yeah, we don't get to go very deep into any of the characters. A number of plot points move so fast that unless you've read a bunch of the comics and know the lore, a lot of like,
There's no
really
way you're
cool
gonna
pieces
follow what's
are
going
going to go right over your head.
There's no way you can follow any of this shit.
Yeah.
It doesn't spend any amount of time to actually be able to absorb the world and absorb what's going on and absorb the characters. And that's one thing you can say about the Guillermo del Toro movie, because I rewatched it recently. I rewatched it recently. It still holds up shockingly well.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it is still very much a product of its time.
Yep.
But it's more like, there's so much more will, like, and I'm not even a big fan of the Guillermo del Toro movies. Like, I like them, but I don't have the mantelpiece a lot of people do.
I put him way up there. I'm a big fan of Guillermo del Toro.
I love Guillermo del Toro. Like, as far as super movies of that era, though, like Hellboy wasn't always a big one for me. It's like, oh, it's really good. I just never was like, and I like the production value alone for those films is unbelievably good, like beyond question.
Oh yeah.
I just it never really connected to as much as I wanted to, especially the second one.
Yeah, the second one also suffered from pacing issues, but not as much as this one suffers from.
Like the second one's main issue is the fact that it felt like two conflicting movies. Right. It's the fact that it was like a Hellboy with all the gothic themes, and also makes like the Hobbit movie, which he was working on at the time. So it felt like more like a preview to the Hobbit than a Hellboy movie.
True. I feel like if they were able, if they came out on Blu-ray with an extended version where a half dozen conversations could take twice as long so we can really get into the characters.
And just cut out a lot of the fucking fat you don't need. Like, there's a whole fucking subplot with, like, giant slaying. That's fucking gone by before even a third of the film is over. Never mentioned again. Like,
true.
Never mentioned again. There's a lot of that through the entire fucking movie. A lot of plot beats. It's like, oh, this feels like it should be important. They feel like we should expand on this. It's done in 3 minutes.
Yep.
Like the shots on all the trailers, like the demons coming up and killing a bunch of people, and the demons have really cool designs, and I thought it was really, really cool. It's 3 minutes. Yep. They're there for 3 minutes. They don't do much. No. They kill some people and then they're gone.
Yep.
That's it. That's what you get out of it.
I feel like
there's a scene in the trailer like he's riding a dragon like a Meatloaf album. That's maybe a minute, give or take. It's there and gone.
Part of me loves those though, because the Hellboy comics are notorious for being like, here's a 3-issue storyline. And then it's done.
But you can do that in a comic.
You can. But someone took this comic and made a movie, Michael. And we watched it.
Like, you can see people that do that and done it well. Like, Superman vs. the Elite was an anime film. I think it was maybe 2 issues. Correct me if I'm wrong. If so, somebody will correct me. It was really a short comic, and that movie's really good. Have you seen that one? I haven't seen that one.
Which one?
Superman vs. the Elite, the animated one.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
That one's that's also my favorites.
All right.
But that we didn't get back to that show, by the way. We kind of dropped that.
Yeah, like what, 3 years ago?
Like 3 years ago. I still get angry comments. I got like angry comment about one recently.
That's amazing.
But Superman vs. the Elite was like, I wish you two assholes would shut up and just play the movie. And I was like, you realize it's not what we do here, right? There's a bunch of other illegal ways you can watch it. Go do that. That's comments I got like 2 weeks ago. That one was like, that one kind of baffled me. But yeah, anyway, and like, I haven't read much of the Hellboy comics. I will admit, I've read some.
I have not read everything there is to read.
I know the I know the BRPD, the universe is finally coming to a close.
Yes.
And I know it's a big deal. And I know there's some great storylines in there. I've read like the first volume, read some of the shorter stories. And I just don't, like, even just based on that and the world it builds and the gothic nature of it, I just feel like this movie did not capture it. I think it's too much trying to be edgelord B-movie horror. And I think one of the cruelest burns I've read about this, and it's sadly kind of true, where I think it was Movie Bob who just said on Twitter, it's like, you gotta feel bad for the director because he had Mila Jovovich on set for for the entire film production, and the entire time she's thinking, my husband can make a better film.
Ooh.
And I kind of agree with that.
She commits to this role.
I will give, like, Mila Jovovich is not getting enough credit as an actress. That being said, she keeps getting lumped in these shitty fucking movies.
She throws herself 100% into this part.
I will give it that.
Every scene, she commits to what she's doing here. And is she going to win an award for it? No.
Maybe a Razzie.
Oh.
Yeah, like I said, you're gonna do something stupid, go all the way. It's always been my motto. But like, and then they got like And again, you have to make the comparison in the old movies, because, like, Ron Perlman, whether it was, like, darker or not to the original source material, was fucking Hellboy. Like,
so I don't think either of them are... So in the comics, Hellboy is a more intelligent individual than he's ever been portrayed in any of the animated movies or the live-action ones. Like, they always want to pitch him as this brute, because he's big and he's strong. And, you know, he's not exactly dexterous. But, like, the thing is, yeah, Hellboy's clumsy, but he's not stupid.
true, but that being said, as far as, like, just getting the look down, the mannerisms, and the voice, and all that stuff, like, that does scream much more Hellboy than David Arbor awkwardly trying to act through layers and layers of makeup for 2 hours.
So much prosthetic.
And he just looks so uncomfortable. And it's not David Arbor's fault. He's doing his best.
No, I enjoyed his portrayal. Yeah, I don't know who I would ever even think to cast as Hellboy for a live action, because if you wanted to be true to the comics, you gotta find someone with every bit of the muscle that they prosthetically stack onto Ron Perlman or the new guy or whatnot. But he also has to be someone who has never done leg day in his life. Because in, like,
I mean, that's
comics,
like making Logan. That's like making Wolverine short, though. It's not you got to give a concession to something.
Yeah, like Hellboy has no legs. I mean, normally they end in hooves too, but still, like, it's scrawny little legs.
I mean, like, that's going to nitpicky elements of the character. Like, you can change that. Like, that's like, it's kind of like why I'm fine that Zachary Levi played Shazam rather than, say, I don't know, what's the most recent wrestler that's popular nowadays?
John Cena?
John Cena, yeah.
I would have kind of loved that. But only if at some point in the movie they'd had that play in the background, so it's like, Shazam! John Cena!
See, Zachary Levi is so much better than we got in John Cena,
right.
like, by leaps and bounds. He just knows how to capture that kid element part of it. And then that's the thing, you gotta capture the heart of what makes the character good. It doesn't have to really match the looks of it. That's when we had Batman vs. Superman, which is like, hey guys, it looks like The Dark Knight Returns. That makes it good, right? Right? Quality, right? Depth, right? No. One of these days, we're just gonna make a pure debate video between me and Muhan. We're just gonna hash this shit out for 3 hours.
It's gonna be a saga.
It really is. It's like, how long can we argue about this where you trying to murder each other? Let's debate.
We're pitching it now. We're gonna pitch it to you right now here. HBO, Game of Thrones is ending. You need something new.
God, that'd be amazing.
Grab Michael, grab him, grab Muha. Put Grant in the back seat, it'll be great.
Just put Grant in a funny mustache and like a judge's hat, and he's like, he has the gavel once.
Yes.
He's moderating the debate. He can do it. He has the voice down.
It's true.
It's more like, and it's like there's nothing here that's nearly as interesting as anything that was in the Guillermo del Toro movies. The visuals aren't nearly as interesting. The world isn't nearly as interesting. The characters aren't nearly as interesting. And again, like, even if I was to take the original Guillermo del Toro movie out of it, this movie would still suck, because it's still all over the goddamn map and has no idea what it wants to do with anything.
Yeah, it just comes back to that pacing issue.
Yeah, it's more like just unnecessary plot issues. Like, you don't need the Giants. You don't need the Osiris organization, or whatever the hell they call it. You don't need that dumb subplot that comes in later with, oh no, Alice got stabbed in the neck. Is she gonna die? Is this gonna be like the emotional arc of the film? The all is lost moment? Is that what it's gonna be? Again, it's 3 fucking minutes. They've taken a fucking undead Merlin, which we just find out exists now. And then he's like, oh, she's fine now. There you go. She's perfectly fine. I mean, let's talk about Excalibur.
I have to admit, I wonder, like, how else that scene could have gone.
It's just pace it the fuck out.
No, I know. But, like, so earlier in it, the Blood Queen turns to the fucking lady who handed her over to King Arthur earlier and lets her live, which, why?
Yeah.
But it's like, yes, you must tell Hellboy to go where he can learn of his destiny. And I'm just like, all right, had the Thorn thing not happened, to give this witch the go-to of like, oh, that's how I can send you to Merlin. Like,
all right.
How? How is that like?
And more importantly, that was the character we just forgot existed for 2/3 of the fucking movie. Right. And then she because we find on the beginning, like, the whole thing's about this Blood Queen who was like back in King Arthur times, which is like, that's, I don't know what it is, but King Arthur is a fucking death wish for films right now.
Oh my god, yes.
Between Transformers and the fucking King Arthur movie, which I thought was hysterical. I was also the only one.
Something tells me it wasn't a comedy.
No, but me and Matt laughed our ass off.
Excellent.
And we were the only ones laughing.
Nice.
And then now this fucking movie, where it's like, and it's more like, it's also by Ian McShane, and I love Ian McShane. If the phrase "I don't give a shit" could be a person, it would be Ian McShane. But he sounds so cool while he's doing it. Like, his retort about Game of Thrones is still my favorite retorts to anything ever in existence. Which says that, like, he got mad because everyone, like, he gave, like, a possible spoiler. And he goes, please, it's just tits and dragons. And I just imagine a cigarette in his hand they took a big swig out of. Just fucking deal with it. But he like does this like narration again that is so fastly paced. Like, there was a Blood Queen, and King Arthur went to stop her with Merlin. Yes, Merlin exists here. He does a banishing thing, make all the demons go away. And then this other girl also betrayed the Blood Queen, and then she's here now too, and she has a little blood thorn crown that we never see again for like next until the last out of the movie. And then we just that happens like span 2 minutes. Like, wait, what? No, slow down. So like, and then like that character that alleged like betrayed the Night Queen just fucking disappears.
I know, I'm telling you.
We don't hear from her again.
3.5-hour movie. We watched it in 2 hours and 5 minutes.
And then here's the kicker. She shows back up again when the Blood Queen comes back, and it's like, please show mercy. And they're like, mercy? And then just she kills me like, but you would help me. Okay, I would help you. I have helped you now. And then she's gone again. She doesn't show back up again. Yeah, they don't kill her. She's just fucking gone. Yeah. We never hear from her again. No one talks about it. She just fucking gone. And there's, again, so much shit like that in this movie. And, like, we're interested, like, this Osiris organization, which is, like, a bunch of, like, oh, we're, like, demon hunters, but we're very, very British. Yeah. And they're like, we hunt giants. We only do through with spears, because it's very British.
I don't think they did that once.
I know, but that's how I imagine they spoke. Because, again, they just like, we are very British.
They were indeed very British.
And plus, it's just really fun to do.
I just want to note a different side of, like, the British culture. Because I just fucking love the character of Alice. She's not in any of the comics. Mm-hmm. There are a number of spiritual mediums with similar powers, and she fits into she would fit into that universe very well. I'm not, if she isn't, I don't know about her. But yeah, no, like, I thought she was a great character. I liked her attitude. I like what she brought to the story.
I would have liked to have actually developed her in a significant way.
Well, they spent more time developing her than anyone else in the movie.
That's not saying much, though.
I know.
I mean, that's like saying, like, well, this fruit's slightly less rotten. I'm sure it'll taste okay.
Yeah, you know. I don't know. Like, I feel like she was a fantastic rendition of the character who's just, in any given story, it's like, yeah, shit happens, keep moving. Like,
and again, had they developed that, I'd probably agree with you, because, like, she does have, like, personality, I'll give her that. Mm-hmm. But it's more the fact that this movie, the only dialogue anyone has in the movie is all just exposition. No one has actually anything to say that reveals anything about themselves. Everything is just talking about the plot at some extent. That's there in everyone's conversations throughout the entire movie. And here's the worst sin of, I think, this movie is Hellboy is boring. Hellboy is awfully written. Hellboy's a fucking whiny brat through, like, a majority of this movie, to the point Ian McShane just straight up goes, quit being a whiny bitch.
It's true.
And it's like, you know what? He's right. He has done nothing but bitch and moan and complain for 2 fucking hours. And then we have the I learned something moment, and he kills the Blood Queen at the end and forsake his destiny, which just repeats beat for beat the first Hellboy movie.
That's like half the comics. Still!
If you're trying to be different from the first movie, stop being so much like the first movie. And then it just goes right back to, you knew about this, Dad? How did you know about this?
So I'm gonna agree, because this is something that bothers me from the comics. Hellboy and his father get along great. They never have these disagreements. They don't have this problem. Every rendition of this where it's like, oh yeah, Hellboy and his father going at it again. It's like, no!
Even like the first Hellboy, they got along okay.
Oh yeah.
Better than this. I mean, like, they respected each other.
They did.
Like, they weren't like, And even like the way he said, like he didn't say like I hate dad. It's like, oh, he's still angry. It's more like just like it felt more like an actual father-son relationship.
Sure.
Rather than this one, Ian McShane and David Arbor have nothing in common. They have no chemistry together. They're both just saying lines. And Ian McShane giving like the most non-fucks given I've ever seen Ian McShane give, which is not in a good Ian McShane way, like in a I couldn't care less about anything I'm doing right now kind of Ian McShane, which is such sad. Even when he's bored, he's at least putting in some effort. You have to try hard to make Ian McShane not care. Well, not care enough.
Right. So yeah, that's pretty much the movie.
So I'm like, and then it goes back to the supporting cast though, because the first couple movies had like Abe Sapien and a gas mask guy who I'm forgetting.
Oh god, I'm spacing on his name.
The one that was played by Seth MacFarlane in the second one.
Yeah.
And you're like, how these visually interesting characters, and what do you have here? You have Alice girl who can punch ghosts out of people, and Hunter from Spyro. You don't know that?
I don't catch the reference. Sorry.
Do you ever play Spyro games?
Not since I was like 13.
You remember the weird little tiger thing?
Not well. No.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, they remastered it recently. You should go check it out. It still holds up pretty well.
Yeah. In the comics, Daimyo's a really cool character.
I'm sure he is.
And there was a lot of drama, for lack of a better way to phrase it, in the development of the movie.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Because they initially cast a white guy to play the part.
Yeah.
And to the credit of the production company and everything, when the original guy backed out when he found out, wait,
I'm playing an Asian guy?
Yeah. No. He go back, and they didn't just go cast another white guy. Like,
yeah.
That was good. And
I'll give it that.
I liked his character. If we'd gotten more than a montage of what his backstory was.
And that's from everyone's just talking in backstory and exposition. No one has anything of value to actually say.
There was no time. They've packed so much into that.
Could have easily made time. You just cut out some shit.
I know. That's what I'm like. Put everything in.
There's just so much wasted time in this film. And like you could have made something good with this. This is not a bad cast. It's not a bad plot. It's just so much waste. Because I guess it makes it just really disappointing. Again, the one thing I talked about this earlier is like there's one thing good come from this. There's one good thing to come out of this is I'm probably gonna buy the Hellboy omnibus sometime this week. That's
well, I'm just gonna say it now. HBO, Michael and Muha's gonna end soon. You need another series.
Wait, Mike and Muha are gonna end soon? Are you gonna murder us?
Well, no, they finish Game of Thrones, and they pick you up, and it lasts about as long as this review, and then
No, we have to go like super drunk, and then just like pick like something to talk about that we both disagree on. Unless you have that rare moment we both agree on something, we agree on it angrily.
We're just gonna start off getting the two of you inebriated and having you guys review the Bring It On franchise.
Oh my god! Because I just imagine me and Muha going like, "I like Shazam, me too."
Yes. Let's just go over. Oh, I guess you mean the recent Shazam.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking
not the old cartoon.
I'm like, oh no, we're gonna go over the filmography of Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh god.
Here we go.
Sorry. We get to Grown Ups too. I'm just gonna start ordering shooters. It's like, in at World's End, the part where Nick Frost just starts taking shots in a row.
Yes.
Without pausing for a breath. That's gonna be me having to rewatch Grown Ups 2.
There you go.
Because I haven't watched that movie since it came out. And I think that was when Patrick's still around. He just like I liked it. I'm like, fuck you.
I'm baffled that you're gonna watch Grown Ups 2 again.
Well, because Shaquille O'Neal's in it.
Oh, that's true.
So if we're going through Shaquille O'Neal's biography, sooner or later we have to get to Grown Ups 2.
Oh, come on.
But you know what's sad when that's the low point of going through Shaquille O'Neal's filmography.
We know how this works between us. We're going to watch the first 2 movies, take a 3-year break.
It's all right. Let's see where I'm going. We just reunite for Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas.
Oh, God. All right. Let's keep moving before we run out of running gags.
Hey, that's the only like Christian movie I own on DVD.
Right. So is there anything else in the movie we did? Baba Yaga.
Oh yeah.
It's a fascinating interpretation of Baba Yaga in it. For the most part, again, like a lot of things in this movie, I liked 80% of it. The pacing was off, and they make a really big deal about like making visible Baba Yaga's tits.
Yeah, I think that was the case where I think they struck themselves a little too hard about how good they thought their prosthetics were. Yeah.
Well, particularly because the prosthetics don't move.
Yeah.
They're the stiffest, saggy tits I've ever seen.
Wait, how many have you seen?
Well, I've watched a lot of movies with you. Take that.
We don't talk
will.
about those movies.
Coming soon.
Not on YouTube. On Vimeo. They're like, you anything. See, it's really bad. I just finished a script on like you've read Saga, right?
Oh yes.
I spent like 5 months writing an editorial about the sexuality in that book, and I don't know how the hell I'm gonna get it on YouTube.
I have no idea. I was gonna say, I think it's Saga's pretty good, but they could have thrown in a sex scene or two.
Oh, yeah. I know. It's really some smut, you know. I'm talking real hardcore shit, you know.
Oh yeah.
Get some female ejaculation there. They'll never do it.
Oh my God. Now this review's not gonna make it on YouTube.
They care. They would have stopped me years ago. It's like I was saying in the past couple of reviews, my biggest fear right now is the bigger we get is someone's going to make an out-of-context MTCN Twitter account, and they're going to have, like, 7 years of shit to work with, and it's going to be awful. Because out of context, some of the shit I've said over the past 7 years, when I started this when I was 20...
In context, some of the shit you've said. I've personally made you apologize for things.
Yeah, I remember. To be fair, again, in context, at least have an excuse.
Right. All right.
Vampire Academy feels so long ago now.
And I'm glad for that.
Although I'm a little sad Victor Frankenstein wasn't sooner.
And maybe it would have taken away from the overall quality of the film. But to jump back to it, I wish if the prosthetics had been better, because the fight scene between Hellboy and Baba Yaga has Baba Yaga moving in all sorts of crazy, unnatural ways that looks really kind of cool. It's one of the better fight scenes in it.
It is.
In part because it's one of the few fight scenes where someone doesn't get stabbed in the eye.
That
Happens like every time.
Now you mention it, yeah.
And no one dies from it. Like, that's an easy way to get to the brain. But yeah, no. I think it would have been amazing at some point, you twirling, flipping, or whatnot. We got a brief slow-mo close-up of, like, Baba Yaga's saggy tit just hitting Hellboy's face. Like,
because that's this movie needed.
That's what that movie needed. This is
Yeah.
the only thing it was
Totally
lacking.
would have redeemed the whole thing.
So HBO.
You know, I'm just gonna say, if you actually like made a Hellboy movie or a TV show like in the style of Game of Thrones, it'd actually be pretty all right.
It would be. I think that it would do better as a series than it can as a movie.
Honestly, yeah, I
the
agree
storylines
with
are
that.
too short.
I agree with that. And I'm not gonna lie, I do want to see the pancake storyline come up in
Oh
one.
God, yes, it's a 2-page comic.
It is.
Man, that'd be fun to make.
Right? Fan film, I'm calling it right now.
Oh yeah.
We get sued so quickly by Lionsgate, but it'd be okay.
I just make an animatic and pitch it. Then we accidentally somehow it got leaked to YouTube.
Oh
Whoops.
no. Sorry,
Deadpool
Ryan
got
Reynolds.
All right.
So trailers real
Trailers.
quick. And then, yeah. As we saw, it's at the smaller theaters, so we didn't get as many. First one we got is for John Wick 3.
Yes.
Now, that I'm looking forward to.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, loved the first two.
Right?
Yeah, like, I have no reason to believe this movie's gonna be bad. Also with Ian McShane.
Yeah, also Ian McShane. Excellent cast of characters, both returning and new. I'm curious. I'm excited for it. I'm, terrified and slightly turned on. But
I'm just sad Halle Berry doesn't have her African accent. For those who remember the first X-Men film.
oh my god.
Do you think she'll say the phrase?
No.
But what if a frog shows up? Oh no, sorry, Toad.
Yes, it's true. Don't confuse those.
I'm not gonna lie, if there was some reference to that in the movie, I would be the only one going, yes! Toad got struck by lightning! Speaking of kind of sort of comic booky films, you also got Brightburn.
Yeah, I'm not gonna see that one for a number of reasons, but
I mean, it's a product of James Gunn, which makes me curious.
okay.
I think he wrote it or something like that,
Really?
or like he helped make it. I think it's like him and his brother. But that being said, I do have personal issues with like trying to twist what is like comics' most well-known immigrant metaphor, and then basically saying, "Hey, you shouldn't adopt the space kid."
Yeah.
Which, like, if you take it literally, there's some validity to that. And like,
Is he a space kid?
in this one, he is. Yeah, they
Okay.
clearly showed like the crash spaceship, all that.
I must have missed that in the trailer, but okay.
I think we were talking, but
No
then they
worries.
said but in this one, like Superman's all like psychotic and evil. I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
I kind of have an issue with that. Of like, no, don't take the risk on the alien child. He might be evil, which I
What?
feel like just sends a wrong message. I could be wrong based on the context of the film.
that could be. I also feel like the way it played out, they just gave the whole movie beat for beat in the trailer.
Well, it could have a redemption arc. Maybe.
That'd be a heck of a thing with all the murders you watch him do in the preview. Like,
Well, it turns into like no, he's fine. See, it's just like that thing you've seen in all the movies. Like, I'm fine. See, I move perfectly normal, like normal people do. It's like Superman in the air, like little strings, like fuck.
the child murdered the entire town, and so another town moved in, and the child murdered all of them, so another town moved in, and that town sank into the swamp.
Where
But then
is
the child murdered all of them, but then we brought another town in on top of that, and it stood firm.
where is that from?
This is the shortest version of the history of Chicago, is we built a town and it sank into the swamp, and then we built a second town on top of it, and it too sank into the swamp.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like wait, a child
No.
murdered the first town of Chicago.
Yes.
And that same kid stuck around long enough to kill the second town?
And then the third version of Chicago burnt down and then sank into the swamp.
This is why I'm convinced the world is Grand Theft Auto.
And then another version of Chicago was built on top of it, and it stood firm. Because it had the foundation of 3 cities.
This explains so much about Chicago.
I'm amazed.
And the next trailer guys, The Curse of La Llorona, which is me and Laura seeing that next week.
I feel like that almost falls into the same vein.
In terms of making...
let's watch a bunch of white people be threatened by a ghost story from a non-white culture.
It's not as bad as that Owen Wilson movie that came out a couple years ago, where they had to escape from
remember
the
it, but I'm
scary
glad of that.
immigrants,
Oh my god.
or something to that extent. I know he's really racist.
Yeah.
We didn't see it, but I know he's really racist. I was like, I think someone made like a joke trailer. This is gonna go on the out of context Twitter thing. Where someone like made like a fake Twitter post, online poster about it, and just said "Beware brown people."
Oh my god.
That's because that's basically what the film was.
Alright.
But yeah, so Curse of La Llorona looks like a wannabe Conjuring film.
Yeah, it's another Conjuring or The Nun or...
Yeah, which
you know.
is not also kind of sucked. It wasn't
Yeah,
the worst thing ever.
Exactly. Here's the ghost of a creepy lady.
It's creepy.
Here to kill you all.
Yep.
Yep.
And there's an alcoholic priest in there, sure.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the thing that happened. You know what's bad when the Annabelle movie was better than that one that year?
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm entertained watching the people in the car next to us freak out about how the heck they're going to get into the car with us being so loud with lights on us.
They'll find a way.
They always find a way.
Last trailer we got was for Endgame.
Oh, I guess we'll see that.
I don't know. It could go either way.
Let's give it a couple weeks after it comes out.
Well, the guy has a testicle chin, and I don't know. I'm just not I'm not buying it.
But it has Ant-Man.
Oh, well, now we have to go see it. What do you want to say, guys? It's fucking Endgame.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Before anyone starts thinking we're talking seriously.
Yeah, no, it's gonna. I've got plans to see it the opening weekend, which is really quality because it's also my wife's birthday weekend.
Very nice.
So she came to me with plans to see the movie. That's why I chose a good one.
Yeah,
she's amazing. I'm mildly amazed.
I'm happy for you guys.
I kind of hope that she's done it without us realizing, and when people go to watch the review, it'll be there.
What?
But I told her that she should just Godzilla stomp across the rear windshield a few times, and I've been watching in the camera and I haven't noticed it. But
I feel like I would have seen her coming.
You would think. She's wearing pajama pants.
I can't judge. I'm wearing sweatpants.
You monster.
They're comfy. I work with children. Comfort takes over everything else.
Wow. All right, but Endgame looks fantastic. My one thing in it is we're seeing in the trailers now that they're all going to wind up with this Avengers uniform going on, which I think is cool. Mm-hmm. I think it's great, but I really want, because of the fact that Ant-Man's suit is supposed to be made of some crazy stuff to handle the constantly changing size and going to quantum and whatnot. I want there to be a throwaway line put in there at some point where the cost of making his Avengers uniform was 10 times everyone else's. They're like, this is bullshit. Hank Pym owns all the patents and make us pay out the nose for it.
That would be kind of great. I just know I've told myself I'm not drinking any liquids an hour before I get there, and you're just going to tough that shit out.
Tell me, get popcorn. The salt helps prevent it.
I'll think about that.
So, yeah.
I just know I still got to get my tickets. I'm probably already fucked.
Yeah, you're in a rough spot if you don't have tickets yet, man.
Yeah, I'll find a way. I've managed to squeak through every premiere so far, 2 days before.
I've got a plan. We're gonna need a stroller.
Sure.
It's that, or we weekend to Bernie's this.
Wait, remind me what happens in Weekend to Bernie's.
They make it look like the dead guy's alive the whole time.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wait, am I dead in this scenario?
Yeah, I'm gonna pitch that you're a cadaver, so you don't need a ticket.
I have some concerns about your plan. All right, that was the last trailer. You got any final thoughts for what the hell did we just see? Hellboy?
So, it absolutely could have been better. I'm excited. The same way that I'm excited anytime Guillermo del Toro makes a thing. Anytime someone wants to try to make a movie from the concepts of Mike Mignola, I'm going to be there to see it.
Yeah.
I want these stories to be told, and I want them to be shared. The downside to it is, even if it had been paced well and all of this, these works hit a niche audience, and it's really hard to make a success out of that.
You're right. And that being said, even if the pacing was better, it just felt like there was no way to really justify his existence, and there's no reason they shouldn't just made a third one.
It would have been better to go back and get a third one.
I feel like Guillermo del Toro wanted to do it. I don't know why it fell apart, and Rob Perlman wanted to do it, but they just didn't do it for whatever reason. And
for a long time.
And I made it because I couldn't find a script. Either way, it just feels like Guillermo del Toro got screwed out of making a third one. And that's you screw Guillermo del Toro, one of the most creative directors in the industry,
right? For
that,
right?
So there's a little bit of bitterness going on there too. But even taking that out of it, this movie just sucked.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I've seen it twice.
And if you it's like anything else, if you like it. Fine, it doesn't bother me in any way, shape, or form. I like some movies that a lot of people don't like either.
Yep. It's not a deeply cerebral movie. It's not going to win many awards, probably.
Oh, God, that'd be shocking.
But,
I don't know, Suicide Squad. I have to say Academy Award-winning film Suicide Squad.
Right.
So, who the fuck knows? All right, I'll let you get back. So
she's starting to scream at me.
Okay. So that was all we got, guys. So I still got to see The Missing Link. I was gonna see it tomorrow, but then shit came up, so I'm gonna try to see it on Saturday. I don't suppose you're free on Saturday, are you?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. That
Sorry,
was a
man.
shot. It's all right. So, Missing Link, a movie I do actually want to go see. So, go check that out on Saturday. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching. See you later.